Hello and welcome to Alchemist Whim. I am Alchemist Jen, and it is a pleasure seeing you here today. I hope it is an alright day. So the whim of the day is to use my fancy crochet hook, my ginormous fancy crochet hook, and make braids with fibers. So I'm going to show you the piles of awesomeness first before I get into that. So beautiful red, and then I have a enticing orange and a fantastic yellow and an exuberant green, a feisty blue, and an interesting indigo. And I'm going to use this violet. Yeah, this one's split. It's fascinating. This compared to other dyes that showed up, pretty consistently all the way through. This one went pretty moody. So fascinating look there. So who knew? It's the first time I'd used that dye as well. So I had no idea it was going to do that. And then I also did one braid that is everything. So all the way through the whole spectrum. So that'll look really cool, all bundled up. So I may start with the braid there. Why not start braiding there? So when I start my braid, I just take this beautiful fiber, and I'm just going to go through and just make sure everything's as fluffed out as I want it to be. I know there were some pieces that felt like they were a little still connected, so I'm just going to go back through and just make sure I fluffed out. This fluffing out is important. I'll just give it a nice little look over with my hands, essentially. I don't feel any weird places where it's going to grab, and just give it a nice little tug and open it up. So I'll do that with all the fiber, just to make sure they're ready and exciting and excited. Alright, I think we'll still start with the red. So, I usually do, and I'll probably do this a couple times and be like, oh yeah, that's my groove. I'll just kind of make a little, almost like a slip knot, like I was going to actually crochet a whole monster with this, and then be able to build from there. It'll end up with a nice closed end for the braid, which is nice. A little bit of a twist to it. So I'm just doing a single crochet, or not single crochet, that's not what I'm doing at all. I'm chain crocheting through the whole line. So just grab it and pull through, grab it and pull through, and we're going to be able to see all the colors that are there, which is fantastic. And see how they're going to interact, which is really, really fun. So if we were to spin it into yarn, it would be interesting to keep the gradients, I think, lined up like this. So you're doing all the same color together. Another option would be to go through the braid and then slice it so that you'd have multiple sections of yarn that would end up with the gradient. So you'd kind of have a repeating motif that way instead of one full flow of color. And then there's the last little bit. See how easy that is? I mean, it goes really quick, which is awesome. And there you go. So then we have a braid. There it is. That big fluff turns into this awesomeness. So I like how like other people will do them differently. So they'll roll them. They like to kind of roll initially anyway, so some people will roll them on themselves and have them like that. I kind of like to have them a little bit more willy-nilly. I let them kind of hang out like this, and then when I display them at shows, I drape them on my display over kind of a macrame rope and let them kind of hang, and you can see all the pieces of it like that. So I'm weird like that, but it works for me and it works for my display. It's very organic, very fun. Alright, so we're just going to keep working through all of our awesome braids here. Should go pretty quick, which is awesome. I mean, definitely quicker than the part where go through and fluff the yarn for sure. So, alright, slip, 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 and pull through so we can start braiding. I like it's called a braid because it looks like a braid, but it's just chain of fiber. But you know, when there's already a term for it, it's easier to communicate within the people, within the community. People are wanting it to say, hey, it's a braid, because that's what we call it. This is also a thing that people would just pull through with their hand too. I kind of like it nice, and I like I guess the consistency I'm getting when I'm using the crochet hook. Plus I already have a tool that I can use to do this, so why wouldn't I use the tool, right? Okay, why not? So we'll go through and see what the variation in the color looks like, and this awesomeness as well once we're done chaining away. So I just love, I mean, this is just satisfying. The merino wool is just super soft, it's super cuddly. I just want to hug it. I was working on one of them earlier, and Kitty came over and distracted me, and he just sat on it and then just wanted to cuddle. So of course, you know, Kitty's very wise. He's an old boy, he's wise, but if he says it's time to cuddle, he's right. It's always time to slow down and cuddle. So there's the red. It twists on itself, which is just fine. Red. Decide how much I want to do. I want to do that purple because I want to see how it works up. I'm just really curious how moody it maintains its presence. That is a sentence I really want to use or not. I'm not sure yet. Alright. I pulled it through, so I'm going to go back in and restart that. Here we go. You just keep pulling it through. Let me try to get it anchored. It's not very thick at the end on this color, so that's what's going on there. So I'm going to try to get it started and then give it a little tug. I think it'll balance out. Perfect. Pretty. Really is fascinating to watch how different dye colors interact with fibers. I've used the same technique in each dye pan to dye these, so interesting to see how it's split. Did not necessarily expect that after all the other colors like that. So, you know, it's a learning opportunity. And now I know a lot more about this dye. A lot of these I hadn't actually used before. I just got all of them. Actually, all of them are brand new. And I hadn't used before. I took the opportunity to build a rainbow that I thought would go well together. instead of saying, oh, I have a yellow, I have a orange, and kind of pull it together. I was thoughtful about how they would interact with one another, knowing they'd be used as a group. So, just something I did with this. I'm so excited to show this part to you because I don't know what it's going to look like. Alright, definitely shows up as purple, so that's awesome. It's just that it's many shades of purple. It's like all the shades of purple. I mean, it's gone red, it's gone blue, it's gone light, it's gone dark. Just phenomenal. I can't wait to dye yarn with this. Seriously, it's going to be special yarn. Just curious. That makes me think about what I want to pair it with other colors. Just have some fun. I'll be able to hold up some of these braids next to each other, and that will help me see some other pairing options for yarns, as well as I'm looking at what I want to dye next. So that's an advantage, seeing all these colors play out, seeing how their densities vary and how they're going to show up next to each other. It's just cool. It's very cool stuff. Keep braiding, keep chaining to get chain rainbow. Alright, this orange looks really cool. Quite like it. This one, the dye color is Monarch, which, of course, butterfly amazingness. And it's got some really great hues in there. It's interesting how it tends to go more red-orange in its presence. I always get so self-conscious of things that I do for like custom orders and things. I go through this series of like thought processes, making sure that, you know, it's good enough, or it's I'm not going to make somebody upset by what they're expecting versus what they're getting, and I go through this whole rigmarole and just have to tell myself to calm down and relax and just be confident in my work. So, alright, check out this orange. I don't know if anybody else does that. So, I think that should do it for now. I think that's a good video. I'm going to continue braiding these since I have to take these to their new home tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll see where the whim takes us. So, I don't know yet what we're going to work on. And that's the fun of it. It is very much a whim. It's very fun. And we'll see where it takes us tomorrow. Have a good one. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use this as like a wand now. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Thanks. Bye.